Implementation Unit.
Taxes due? Use your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card and earn unlimited rewards. The time by Sagicor Bank is...
Tonight in CVM News at 7, never going back. Victim in Carnival party shooting speaks in a CVM exclusive. Where's the money? Staff at University of the West Indies protest for pay increase. Steel War explaining the ARC versus Tankwell legal battle. Later on in Small Biz, Big Dreams, twin entrepreneurs turning faith and creativity into a brand. And later on in sports, Jamaica eyeing first innings points in CWI 4-day game at Chedwin Park. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for this Monday, April 13. I'm Amoy Harriet, and thank you for joining us. Up first this evening, a legal battle is now underway involving two prominent Jamaican companies operating in the construction industry. ARC Manufacturing is claiming that Tankwell Limited is using unfair tactics to try to force its rivals out of business. Tankwell has denied the allegations. Now, ARC has so far taken its complaint to the Fair Trading Commission and has also now taken Tankwell to court. Tankwell has also challenged a decision of the Fair Trading Commission. As Giovanni Dennis now reports, the matter is due back in court on April 23.
At the heart of the dispute is the competition for customers in Jamaica's rebar market. Rebar is short for reinforcing bar and is a high-strength steel bar used to reinforce concrete. In its altogether. According to ARC, between January to July 2024, Tankwell sold rebar for a price of at least $27 per metric ton below costs. ARC also alleged that Tankwell has an unfair competitive advantage over its rivals because it has an exclusive license to operate a sufferance wharf at Rio Bueno in Trelawney. In handing down its decision, the FTC reaffirmed its 2009 assessment that Tankwell's exclusive operation of the Rio Bueno port does not give the company an unfair competitive advantage. However, the FTC concluded that Tankwell is likely abusing its dominant position in the rebar market, is therefore substantially lessening competition in the market, and is breaching the Fair Competition Act. The Commission said it would have discussions with Tankwell about reasonable steps to overcome the effects of the abuse. However, Tankwell went to the Supreme Court to challenge the FTC's decision. The court has now ordered that the decision should be stayed until the court hearing on April 23 or until the court makes another order. Tankwell and ARC are also before the court in a lawsuit that ARC filed when it escalated the dispute in November 2025. ARC is asking the Supreme Court for declarations that Tankwell has a dominant position in the market and that it has abused that dominant position by engaging in predatory pricing to lessen competition in breach of the Fair Competition Act. ARC is seeking special damages of over $2 billion, along with general damages for loss of profits and reputational harm, and the damages for breach of the Fair Competition Act, among others. Tankwell has denied Competition Act, among others. Tankwell has denied Tankwell also says it competes with strategic locations of its warehouses and economies of scale from bulk purchases and shipping logistics. ARC Systems, the predecessor to ARC Manufacturing, had unsuccessfully accused Tankwell of uncompetitive conduct on two previous occasions, in 2000 and in 2009. On both those occasions, the FTC ruled that Tankwell was not breaching the Fair Competition Act. Giovanni Dennis, CVM News.
A cloud of grief hangs over the Goshen Primary and Infant School community in St. Elizabeth as students, teachers and parents come to terms with the heartbreaking loss of two young lives. Kevin Black shares the details.
Imagine being a parent, loving your child with all your heart with the hope that they will one day achieve the life you were never able to. This dream has been shattered for two families following the death of two students who attended Goshen Primary and Infant School. The result, the entire community grappling with grief. Reports indicate that one of the students, Samuel Clark, drowned while trying to retrieve a ball from a water tank last Thursday, while on Friday, 3-year-old Dakari Witter died at home, reportedly of natural causes. Principal Natalie Roper Allen says the passing of both students a day apart has left staff and students devastated.
Currently, we are suffering loss of two students, Samuel Clark of grade 4 and Dakari Witter of the K1 infant department. He was 3+. He would have turned 4 sometime this week. We are in total grief. These two boys were happy students. They were energetic. Samuel was so smart and supportive. This morning, we are facing a lot of grief and loss.
She described Samuel as a bright and eager learner who stood out in the classroom, while Dakari was known for his playful spirit and affectionate nature. She also highlighted how unconditionally helpful both young men were.
My special moments with Dakari would have been at break and lunch times when he would come around and be playing with the other students, and he would have been one of those students who come in this office, or if I'm on the outside doing supervision, they would come around me, give me hugs and play around me. For Samuel, I get here anywhere between 6:45 in the mornings or by 7:30, and when I come, Samuel would have been one of the students who would meet me at my vehicle. If I'm taken to school, then he would come there too, and they would compete as to who should take my laptop bag.
As the school reopens, counseling support is being provided by the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders to help the community cope with the loss. The principal says the healing process will take time, but unity will be key.
I was at a 0 when I started school. If I should call a number, and if 0 is a number. But as the day is progressing and getting the support from our school resource officer, Officer Dwyer, and persons from the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, through the regional director, our guidance and counseling unit, the journey has been made easier because of the number of sentiments being expressed and the shoulders that have been lent to us.
In the midst of the pain, the school community is drawing strength from each other as they begin the difficult journey of healing. I am Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, in neighboring Westmoreland, dozens of disgruntled residents in Hartford, Petersfield and surrounding communities staged a protest over what they say are deplorable road conditions. The protesters say they've had enough and believe the government has turned its back on them. Natasha Williams has more details in this report.
Roads have deteriorated island-wide since Hurricane Melissa, but residents in Hartford, Westmoreland say long before the Category 5 catastrophe, the roads were a disaster. Tired of navigating what's left of the roads while feeling ignored by the authorities, early Monday morning, the residents took their frustrations to the streets.
The Prime Minister don't busy about Westmoreland, when he lose Westmoreland and Hanover. He not busy with nothing. That means the people will lose their house. If Old Harbour go up in response, sorry. Nowhere Westmoreland in come down here, and don't do a thing. Look on the road them. Nothing are done to the road them, all about the whole island. Nothing are done to the road them. And the MP them down there, they don't have no funds to do it. They have to come from him. So why distribute the funds them and let the road go on?
He says the badly damaged roads pose a threat to taxi and business operators and other motorists. Community members feel forgotten.
Can their vehicle go fix today? Tomorrow it pop down again. One road at Westmoreland. In the certain parish road, but Westmoreland from White House to Negril, from Hartford to Wiccan, and the surrounding area from Savannah to Grangeville, no road.
The residents used old furniture, appliances, tree trunks, and other large items to block several sections of the roadway, but the blockage was swiftly cleared by police officers. However, they hope their short-lived effort will reap some positive results.
The road has been in a deplorable condition for over the years, and with the passage of Hurricane Melissa, it just make it worse. Right now, the community members are staging a roadblock, and I don't know if this is the only means, but this can be an effective way to have the roads fixed. The government need to come in and do something about it.
Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, Dwayne Vaz, was also on the scene.
All the roads across the constituency right now seem to be in a deplorable condition. They were bad before Hurricane Melissa, they got worse after Hurricane Melissa. The only patching program we have gotten so far was where we did some work on the Stratbogie Road, which was still not completed because the money wasn't enough. We did some work on the Smithfield to Dunbar Road. The same issue, some sections had to be left because the money was not enough.
The MP is appealing to the government and other agencies to do more to address the issue.
Members of Parliament don't get resources to fix roads. The money that we get can't fix roads. It is central government that has to allocate money to each constituency. We're calling on the Minister, we're calling on the National Works Agency, we're calling on the Prime Minister. Please allocate sufficient resources to Central Westmoreland so our citizens can traverse the road in a decent manner.
Following Hurricane Melissa, approximately 200 roads were expected to be improved by March 2026 under the government's $1.7 billion Graded Overlay Emergency Road Rehabilitation GO program. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Our police in St. James are reporting a marginal increase in murders since the start of the year. This and other crime upticks were reported at the latest St. James Municipal Corporation monthly meeting. Crystal Williams tells us more.
There is a slight uptick in murders in St. James, with latest JCF serious crime statistics showing 20 recorded murders up to April 11 this year, compared to 18 at the same period in 2025.
The Barretttown area is an area of concern for us now, and we are implementing some curfews and doing some operational activities in order to cauterize that. And this is, we have had about 4 to 5 major incidents out of this, and it's stemming from a dispute.
Wells highlighted Barretttown as a particular area of concern. As Councillor Anthony Murray welcomed crime mitigation.
Most of the violence or killings that we are seeing is based on domestic affair and domestic issues. We need to go into the homes now and start looking at telling people, speak to your JP, speak to your councillor, speak to your pastor, the police and the communities and the justice of the peace have to start to move towards educating our communities more and society more about alternative dispute resolutions.
Resolutions for domestic issues among community members.
But in my space, there's an uptick of break-ins and robberies. Break-ins. Quite a few churches and now bars.
Councillor Michael Allen also reported an increase in break-ins and robberies in his division.
We have seen that increase, not just in St. James. The main thing that they have been taking are like equipment, amplifiers, etc., speakers, that sort of stuff. So we want the community's assistance in anything strange, anybody strange that you see within the space. You'll find out that these persons will come and scope out the areas before they actually do the crime. So we're asking persons, when you see strange persons within the community, please contact the police.
Sacrilege is not just in St. James. He's calling on
Let's head to a break, but stay with us. More when we come back.
Bossy, we are going this big old bag here. You run where?
You is what? Immigration officer? Mind your own business.
You have anything to declare in that bag?
Officer, you not got nothing better to go do.
Open up the bag.
Oh, Me not whoop nothing.
If you don't comply with the law, I'm going to ask you to step out the vehicle. Where you going so much bun?
Officer, it's Easter. Everybody have to get bun. My wife, my mother, my father, even my granny have to get bun.
So what? I can't get a bun?
Of course. Because, officer, even you have to get bun.
Go on, put this in the car.
Buy your mother's bakery Easter bun and share it with the whole family. Because this Easter, everybody have to get bun.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. We are continuing the news. What was supposed to be his final night on vacation nearly turned deadly for one of the victims in a Sunday night's shooting incident at the Carnival after-party Big Wall. The victim, who was a bystander at the event and who lives in the United States, now faces the devastating possibility of permanent disability due to severe nerve damage caused by the attack. In an exclusive sit-down with CVM News, he also raised concerns about security and medical responses at public events. The moment shots rang out at Big Wall at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center Sunday night. A moment 39-year-old Jeremy Watson will never forget.
I ran and then I, felt the shot. Then when everything cleared up, I got up, I was bleeding, and I'm looking at my arm. My bicep is blown out. The incident happened within 5 minutes of Jeremy and his friends' arrival to the party. He was one of 3 people shot and wounded in the incident. The second victim in the shooting incident is vlogger Jadir Richards, more popularly known as Jeffrey. According to the police, Jeffrey arrived at the venue and immediately went to the restroom. He was exiting the bathroom when, upon reaching the door, he was approached by a group of roughly 15 men, all alleged to be part of dancehall entertainer 450's entourage. One of the men, music producer Javel Morrison, also known as Javi Ambassador, hit Jeffrey in the face before the other men started attacking him. Jeffrey told police that one of his attackers then pulled a firearm and pointed it at him. It's understood that Jeffrey grabbed onto the firearm and disarmed the man. Then Javi, who's a licensed firearm holder, pulled his weapon and opened gunfire in the direction of Jeffrey. Jeffrey returned gunfire while running away from the group. He ran to a police officer to seek assistance and handed over the firearm to the police, after which he reportedly felt a burning sensation to his left lower back before realizing he had been shot. The third victim is said to be a member of 450's entourage, 39-year-old Trevor Twait, who's still in hospital in critical condition. CVM News understands that the altercation stemmed from long-standing tension between Jeffrey and Javi that had been escalating over time. Both parties had previously exchanged jabs on social media. Jeremy was a bystander. When I got into the ambulance, they didn't have anything to patch me up, anything like that. I bled out in the ambulance. I had to use my belt to tie around my arm. My belt, yes, tie around my arm before I got to the UE, the hospital. When I got to the hospital, I lost so much blood I blacked out a couple times.
That same ambulance, which was the only one on location, transported both Jeremy and Trevor to aid. Now, due to severe nerve damage, Jeremy may never be able to use his arm again. He's scheduled for surgery upon his return to the U.S. on Tuesday. Jeremy, in the meantime, says he's especially concerned about what he describes as the failure of the relevant authorities to ensure safety and security of patrons at public events. Notably, when being advertised, party promoters said no weapons were allowed.
For one, if you say no weapons allowed, then do your job, right? Do a proper pat down on the people that's coming in there. I feel like it's too many buddy stuff that's going on. I'm just thinking, hey, I know I'm gonna be okay, right? It's my arm, I'm gonna be okay. But it's like the future. What am I gonna do now? Like if I can't use my arm.
Meanwhile, organizers of the Big Wall Carnival event issued a statement expressing deep concern, emphasizing that the isolated act doesn't reflect the standards, spirit, or values of Big Wall. The organizers also apologized to patrons and sponsors for the incident and said they were reviewing security protocols to strengthen security for future events. As for whether Jeremy and his friends will be attending Carnival in Jamaica in the future,
No, not at all.
in the meantime, while acknowledging the unfortunate incident at Big Wall, Minister of State in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Delano Seawright, says it shouldn't overshadow what he describes as a successful carnival season this year.
Carnival in Jamaica has always been peaceful, always. So this incident is no doubt very disappointing. We expect a swift and speedy police investigation, and the persons who are in the wrong be brought to justice. We're also very sorry about that person who it appears may have been injured by a stray bullet. Beyond that, Carnival in Jamaica has been a tremendous success. We do not want these negative experiences to take away from the tremendous success and the hard work put in by so many persons.
To other news now, in addition to being the first school in the West to resume operations after Melissa, Mount Alvernia High officially returned to a full-day system on Monday, following weeks of reshuffling and an improvised shift system, which caused much confusion for both parents and students. The community is grateful for the renewed sense of normalcy. Natasha Williams tells us more.
In a community effort, parents of Mount Alvernia High School students, through the Homeschool Association initiative, have donated tents to facilitate the housing of all students, moving from a shift system to their first full day of school on Monday since Hurricane Melissa ravished the building 5 months ago.
We had our girls coming in on a shift system, and prior to that, they were in days on, days off. The shift system added a little bit more value. At least we were able to see them 2 to 3 hours for the day. The parents were quite disgruntled and would have decided to mount tents to facilitate all our students. And today we extend gratitude to the parents of Mount Alvernia High School to have erected tents so that these can be transformed into classroom.
Despite ongoing construction work at the school, Principal Ken Wine says students are comfortable as safe ground and contingency plans are in place to suit any weather while being hosted under the tents.
It has been good. The teachers are grateful because exams are coming up and we want all our students to be fully prepared, especially at the lower school level.
Prior to the full resumption, the shift system would see all the students alternating between 2 to 3 hour shifts per day on a week-on, week-off basis. Though it helped, Mrs. Wine doesn't believe it was enough. However, she says the tent will now mitigate against the learning loss. Though the early rains on Monday initially dampened the day, it didn't impact the students' spirits who welcomed the new system.
Being back fully to school is such a very good experience
for me because on the shift system it was kind of confusing to wake up in the morning shift for 1 week and next evening shift for 1 week because we're not used to it. So being fully back to school now, we're able to just learn more and to engage with our classmates more because we were not able to engage fully as a school when we had the shift system. We could not do projects on certain days, we're behind on certain days. But now that we're fully back, we are going to be able to catch up with the rest so we can do our exams coming to the end of the year.
And even in the first term where people are still without light, without water, everybody turned up and it was amazing to see your friends safe. And it was amazing to see everyone come together as a unit and supporting each other. Now we have the grade 7 to 9s being back at school on a regular day basis, and it is amazing to see the young ones coming out regularly, going through online learning and through the troubles that they had went through, and seeing them come back and be so spectacular and being so amazing, excelling with 80 averages, 90 averages. It's just important for us to see that we can still do this through tribulations.
Board Chairman Jermaine Harvey says the Ministry of Education has assisted greatly in repairing the 9th grade block, which was demolished during the hurricane. Education Officer for Region 4, Dr. Shamara Brissett, says since the battering from the hurricane, the western parishes and its people have grown in resilience. She says sticking together to ensure learning is one of the strongest part of rebuilding in the West.
We are hopeful and we are excited about what is happening here. It shows that our teachers, our boards, our students, our parents, our stakeholders, and of course the ministry being the parent ministry, is about proactiveness and it's about pulling things together, being resilient and bouncing back better here in Region 4.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
We go now to our business feature where two young entrepreneurs are turning faith and creativity into a growing business. Our reporter Kevin Black has their story in this week's Small Biz, Big Dreams.
Previously on Small Biz.
We string rackets, we string tennis rackets and badminton rackets. My daughters are very busy. I always try to include them in everything. They're the face of the business.
Tonight, on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we meet the next generation behind the business. Twin entrepreneurs turning faith and creativity into a brand. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. Tia and Tamara are the founders of DNA by the Twins, a business rooted in sustainability, faith, and self-expression. They say the idea grew from their father's recycling efforts, turning discarded tennis and badminton strings into meaningful jewelry.
DNA by the Twins was born out of sustainability and a desire to encourage and inspire others. So, as my father had mentioned before, he has a professional racket restringing business where he restrings tennis and badminton rackets. So over the years, he has been storing up strings, waste strings, basically that are supposed to be thrown in the trash. So one day he presented us with the idea, hey girls, why don't you use these strings to create something meaningful? I mean, the strings have a kaleidoscope of colors, and he presented us with the idea, these can be interwoven in the form of a DNA spiral.
Their signature pieces, DNA inspired earrings and bracelets, carry a message of purpose and individuality. They say each product is designed to remind people that they are unique and created with intention.
So anything we do, we really want to include the Lord. So that it was because of our passion, you know, that's why we actually started this business, right? So we have a passion for sharing the gospel with others through meaningful products.
We have here lovely medals for the kids. So if a child wins a tournament, or even if they came 3rd or 4th place, they could still wear a lovely medal by DNA by the Twins.
Since launching, the Twins have expanded their brand beyond jewelry. They now offer a range of Christian-based products, including t-shirts, journals, children's books, and more, all aimed at sharing positive messages through everyday items.
We have here lovely gift boxes. This is our premium blessing bundle. It includes a lovely Christian t-shirt, a lovely Christian journal, and it comes with a cute little pen. We also included one of our DNA Sparrow DNA bracelets, as well as a Christian mug that actually matches the shirt and the journal. These are fantastic books for kids. They have a lot of biblical values and good morals in them, so I encourage you to get some for your little ones. We also have badminton t-shirts as well, and this is for our badminton and also tennis market, because we go to a lot of badminton and tennis tournaments to sell our products. So you can find our jewelry at the Three Things Jamaica stores, Devon House, Norman Manley International Airport, as well as South Camp Road. You can also find us online, our website at www.dnabythetwins.com.
Next week, stay tuned for whichever business we make bloom. Until then, for Small Biz, Big Dreams, I'm Kevin Black.
Let's head to a break, but stay with us. We'll have more when we come back.
KFC Saucy Wings. Available in sweet red chili and citrus chipotle barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
I'm me, the stylist, no scammer, no style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, you charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Brilliant. Worth every penny. Holland into O'Reilly.
To step over there, he walks past him, and then it's just a bit of magic.
Opening up for a shot for Moises Caicedo.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
That Tagwan pa.
Watagwan. 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 Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
I'm me the style, it's no scam and style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, you charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early, but Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Change does not happen overnight. It takes vision, commitment, and courage to reform.
So we created a number of executive agencies, which I believe, and I can say, having left this thing for, was one of the most successful initiatives undertaken in the reform process.
But transformation isn't easy.
We found in several ministries, agencies, and departments, you had square pegs in round holes.
You could almost say that public sector transformation is not a JLP policy, it's not a PNP policy. It is national policy.
There was political willingness, there was bipartisan support for going through with the reforms, there was societal support, a lot of societal sacrifices. People of Jamaica made a lot of sacrifices. And businesses, the private sector, everybody was engaged in this journey.
We want to continue to reform the public sector, to allow the public sector to provide the services to the Jamaican people, provide services to the private sector, and the idea is that those services must be more accessible. Those services must be more affordable. Those services must be faster. They must be more personable and comfortable for the citizen.
Watch Building a Better Public Sector, a 4-part docuseries right here on CVM, commencing April 5 and aired every Sunday in April at 3 p.m. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation.
Welcome back. We're still on the local scene where tensions are quietly building at the University of the West Indies, Mona, where staff members stepped away from their duties during their lunch break today, saying they're no longer willing to wait in silence for long-promised answers on compensation. Javoni Hamilton tells us more.
Scenes at the front gate of the University of the West Indies as the